These are the latest updates with the Kevin Durant trade. So per Jake Fisher, the Minnesota Timberwolves or the Miami Heat seems to be the most likely landing spot for Kevin Durant. Things are obviously fluid at this stage, but the teams most frequently cited as potential landing spots for Durant entering Saturday's business, league sources say, were Minnesota and Miami. So per Shams, 6 to 8 teams have interest. Houston, Minnesota, Miami, the three most interested recently. Thinks the Suns want a deal done sooner than later. Let's get into the video.
Available domino right now. He's the guy that everyone's got their eye on right now in the NBA. And from my understanding, there is some traction in conversation, some significant conversations ongoing with the Suns to move Durant sooner rather than later. I think there's some motivation with some teams to get a deal done. In the last 24 hours, I'm told the focus with the Suns conversations have been on the Houston Rockets, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Miami Heat. So those are three teams that had interest in him at the deadline that could see whether they get a deal done, bring him into the mix, allow themselves to potentially have a better chance of competing for a championship. And, the biggest key there is the fact that he's got 1 year left on his deal, about $54 million. And so does a team need to have a guaranteed understanding that he's going to have an extension agreement locked in? Is there a team that just takes a swing for him? There's also some wild card teams. There's been about 6 to 8 teams calling to the Suns, making offers, reaching out. So
at this point, that is why people are saying that the deal is already done with Miami. The deal is only done when it's done. There's going to be a bunch of teams that are going to come out of the woodworks. There's always those dark horse teams that always come out of nowhere who they're going to be willing to give up a first-round pick or 2 or 3 just to get that deal done. They're going to be willing to throw in young players to get the deal done. However, the Phoenix Suns pretty much have their hands tied behind their back. Why? Because per Jake Fisher, they're ducking under the second apron has been described as one of the Phoenix Suns' primary objectives in a Kevin Durant deal, which means that they just can't take on a bunch of salary. If they're going to take on salary, it cannot be long-term big salary. Miami's offer in the end could even prove to be most enticing from Phoenix's perspective. Miami's ultimate willingness to surrender Kel'el Ware, given the Suns' noted hole at center, could be the true swinging factor in Miami's KD pursuit. So as you guys see, the Phoenix Suns, they need a center. However, why do we have to give up Kel'el Ware when we can get another team involved to give him the centerpiece that we need? I don't care what anyone says, Bam Adebayo does not want to play the 5. And we're not going to piss him off even more by putting him back at the 5 and KD at the 4. No, I like Kel'el Ware. I think he has a lot of potential, and he's the big man that we need going on for the future and for the long-term purpose of this team. Other than that, guess what? They're going to settle for whatever we give them. All these other players and all these other teams always get what they want, how they want it. They don't have to give up this and they don't have to give up that. Now it's our turn. I don't care what the Phoenix Suns have to say. Give us Kevin Durant and we give you what we're going to give you. We're keeping Jovic and we're going to keep Kel'el Ware whether they like it or not. But let me know what you guys think, guys. And remember, the deal is not done until it's done. Hit that subscribe button and thank you for all the support.